Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1778. I'm 2 hours late today. That's why you couldn't find my show. I am here on morning number 1778. These have been consecutive days in a row of morsels of a thought, of wisdom. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do, and doing it is called virtue. So, with morsels of a thought of wisdom, we're bringing more virtue into the world day by day. I am bringing you other people's life experiences, such as Dr. Brody Miller, Ph.D., who wrote this book, Brain Rescue, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. I'm going to be reviewing this book over and over and over again. We will be doing this every Friday. Mastering Memory Mechanics is our bonus chapter we're going through for the first time here. Here, the doctor says, congratulations to all the seekers, capital S, out there who want to dive deeper. You've made it to the bonus chapter. If you're here, it's because you are as fascinated by the depths of the mind as I am. First, there's declarative memories. Our, quote, knowledge bank, end quote. It holds the following, the 3 bullet points: episodic memory, semantic memory, and prospective memory. Now I'll read them. Episodic memory, personal memories like vivid snapshots of moments in your life. Semantic memory, factual knowledge like knowing that Paris is the capital of France. Prospective memory, future memories like remembering things like remembering things we are to do in the future, like going to an appointment. But memory isn't just about facts and events. There are also non-declarative memories, a, quote, hidden, end quote, kind of memory that includes 3 more things: procedural memory, emotional memory, and innate memory. I'll read these. Procedural memory, skills you've practiced, like riding a bike or typing. Wow. Emotional memory, how we react based on past feelings and experiences. And innate memory, reflexes and automatic responses. I like this idea of procedural memory because it skills you've practiced, like riding a bike or typing, such as yesterday I was at my physical therapist's place. I'm going to insert something here. I was at my physical therapist's place, and he talked about how when we're trying to build our muscles, the first few months are actually occupied in creating new neural pathways. It's the neural pathways to the muscles that are being developed over and over and over again. So your skill is like that. And then after those neural pathways are made up, then the muscle starts to expand itself in size. So I asked him if there could be a mismatch in terms of the muscle ability versus the neural ability. And he said yes. So that's what I want to put in there. It is very interesting how the mind has, the brain has so much to do with our physical health in such ways that it's actually neural pathways that control our muscles and influence how well we use them before the muscles actually grow in strength. Interesting to me. Anyway, back to Dr. Brody. Each type of memory plays a part in how we learn, react, and recover. Those are procedural memory, emotional memory, innate memory. In this chapter, we will unpack each type, looking at how they function, where they're stored, and most importantly, how we can strengthen and work with them during brain recovery. You will learn why these memories are foundational to who we are and how, with the right approach, we can reinforce, rebuild, and even relearn aspects of memory. Ready to explore the next layer? Let's dive in. Declarative memory, the brain's active archive. Declarative memory, also known as, quote, explicit memory, end quote, is what we use when we actively try to remember. It includes 2 main types. Episodic memory, this is like a personal photo album. Research insight, that's the other one. Episodic memory. This is like a personal photo album, episodic memory is. It helps us recall details about experiences we've had, like our first day of school, a special vacation, or a big accomplishment. Episodic memory is closely tied to emotions and senses, which is why certain smells or sounds can bring back memories. For people recovering from brain injuries, strengthening episodic memory can help them reconnect with important moments in their lives. Research insight. The prefrontal cortex plays a huge role in the retrieval of episodic memories. Research studies have found greater position emission tomography, PET, position emission tomography, capitalized, measurements of regional PET measurements of regional cerebral blood flow in the prefrontal cortex as the subjects were engaged in memory retrieval, footnote 43. Semantic memory. Think of semantic memory as your personal encyclopedia. It's where you store general knowledge, facts, and meanings. Unlike episodic memory, semantic memory isn't linked to personal experiences. Instead, it holds objective information like vocabulary, historical dates, math formulas, or famous places. For people recovering from brain injuries, semantic memory can be disrupted, making it hard to recall basic facts or recognize words. Simple exercises like memory games or learning new subjects can help strengthen this quote encyclopedia end quote of knowledge. We are reading from Brain Rescue, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion by Dr. Brody Miller, Ph.D. He had a foreword by John Assaraf, who is a two-time New York Times best-selling author. John Assaraf said, Brain Rescue is a life-changing guide packed with cutting-edge neuroscience. It's a beacon of hope. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And I've had the recent bang on my head that hurt so much. Ugh, it stopped hurting, but I really, really get into this now. So, research insight. Semantic memory relies heavily on brain regions, including the left temporal lobe, which plays a major role in processing and storing factual information. Studies using functional magnetic research imaging, magnetic sorry, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, fMRI. Functional magnetic resonance imaging is a small f, but MRI is capitalized. So functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, have shown that areas in the left hemisphere, especially the left anterior temporal cortex, are more active during tasks that require recalling general knowledge. For example, a study by Binder et al. 2009 found that when subjects were engaged in semantic memory tasks, there was increased blood flow to these regions, indicating their role in fact-based knowledge retrieval. Footnote 44. Perspective memory. This is the memory that allows us to remember to do things in the future, such as attending a meeting or taking medication. Prospective memory is often crucial for daily life, especially in recovery, as it helps individuals keep track of tasks that support healing and routine. It involves planning and goal setting, engaging the prefrontal cortex, which helps with the mental organization of future tasks. For those with brain injuries, prospective memory can be disrupted, making reminders and structured routines helpful tools. Research insight. Studies suggest that the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus are key in prospective memory, particularly for goal setting and planning future tasks. An fMRI study by McDaniel and Einstein in 2000 found increased activation in these areas during tasks involving prospective memory, underscoring their role in time-based intentions. Footnote 45. Why Declarative memory matters in recovery. Declarative memory, especially episodic memory, is often impacted by brain injuries. Recovery involves not only relearning and reinforcing these memories, but also stimulating these pathways to encourage neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. Working with declarative memory can help rebuild the mental, quote, files, end quote, that store both personal and factual information. Now, non declarative memory, the brain's invisible skills. Non-declarative memory, also called implicit memory, is the background system that powers our automatic skills and instincts. It's the background system. Non-declarative memory is the background system. Okay. We rely on it. It's also called implicit memory. We rely on it without realizing, and it often stays strong, even when other memory types are affected by injury. Here's how non-declarative memory breaks down. Number one, procedural memory. This is our muscle memory, the skills we've practiced so much that they become automatic, like typing, riding a bike, or driving. For people with brain injuries, procedural memory can be a valuable asset. Even if other memory systems are impacted, procedural memory often remains intact, providing a sense of familiarity and independence. Re-engaging with these skills can be therapeutic, helping the brain reconnect with routine actions. I recall in my life, I had a operation and my brain was so foggy from the opiate medication painkillers that I could not function. I could not know what the next thing to do was, except for I knew to take out the garbage. And as I was walking up the stairs, I was in that foggy state. And I said, thank goodness for human habits, because if it weren't for these habits, I would not know what the next thing, what was the next thing to do. So it was very interesting how our habits really help us in times of need like that. Anyway, back to procedural memory. Number one. Now, the research insight is the basal ganglia and cerebellum are central to procedural memory. Studies have shown that these areas are highly active when people perform repetitive tasks. For example, a study by Doyon, found that people who practiced motor skills had increased activation in the cerebellum and basal ganglia, showing their key roles in learned motor activities. That's footnote 46. Number two, emotional memory. Number one was procedural memory. Number two, emotional memory. Emotional memory influences how we react based on past experiences. It's why certain places feel calming or why certain situations make us feel anxious. Emotional memory is stored largely in the amygdala, which connects memories with feelings. Brain injuries can heighten emotional responses as parts of the brain related to emotion may become more sensitive. Recovery can involve learning techniques like mindfulness and grounding exercises to adjust how we emotionally respond. Now, the research insight is emotional memory is closely linked to the amygdala, especially in how it connects emotions to memories. A study in 1996 found that the amygdala's activity during emotional experiences strengthens memory retention, suggesting it helps, quote, tag, end quote, memories with emotional significance, which can be especially pronounced after trauma. Footnote 47. We are reading from Brain Rescue by Dr. Brody Miller. This is a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. We are learning the right things to do in the form of wisdom. The wisdom is knowing the right thing to do. We are learning from other people's synopses of their lives, life experiences that other people have experienced in order to give us the wisdom of knowing what to do if we have such a thing as a brain injury or any other thing that I read for us on my weekly show, my daily show, Morsels of a Thought. Okay, so Number 3, innate memory. This type of memory manages our most basic automatic responses, like reflexes and survival instincts. It's why we instinctively react to danger or experience the fight or flight response. For some brain injury survivors, the innate memory system can become overly sensitive, leading to increased stress responses to harmless stimuli. Techniques like deep breathing and meditation can help calm this system, retraining the brain to feel safe in daily settings. Now, the research insight is the brainstem and amygdala are primary centers for innate memory, coordinating rapid, reflexive responses to perceived threats. Studies on the fight or flight response have shown increased amygdala activity when the brain detects danger, even when stimuli are benign, especially in people with heightened anxiety or PTSD. That's footnote 48. Each type of non-declarative memory plays a unique role in how we respond to and engage with our world, often acting as a foundation for recovery by maintaining essential skills, reactions, and survival instincts. Gotta ask Dr. Brody if Kung Fu would change the sizes of the parts of the brain. That would be interesting. Gotta study people who do those physical martial arts, see what their brains look like, you know? That's curiosity for me. Back to the doctor. Actionable steps to strengthen each memory subtype. Number 1, episodic memory. Quote, memory mapping, end quote. Goal, strengthen personal recall. How? Choose a memorable event and write down all the details you remember, all the sounds, sights, emotions. Reflect and try to recall more details. Why? It stimulates the prefrontal cortex and strengthens episodic memory retrieval. Interesting. Now, number 2, semantic memory, which is, quote, fact reinforcement, end quote. Goal, strengthens factual knowledge. How? Pick a topic, research a fact, and create flashcards. Review them daily. Why? Repetition and active recall strengthen semantic memory. Now, I have to say that creating flashcards is a very intensive, interesting process. I loved it when I created some flashcards for the Japanese language, and a friend of mine was going to Japan, and I loaned him the cards, and he threw them away. Oh, MF. Oh, I wanted them back. I thought he knew I was loaning them to him, but he apparently thought that I was just fucking giving it to him. I'm sorry. Oh, anyway, check mark. Number 3, perspective memory, reminder system, end quote. Reminder system, end quote. Goal, remember future tasks. How? List tasks and set alarms or reminders throughout the day. Check off tasks as you complete them. Why? It engages the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus to remember future actions. Number 4, procedural memory. Quote, muscle memory re-engagement, end quote. Goal, re-engage in a learned skill. How? Practice a motor skill, e.g., typing, cycling, egregior, for 10 to 15 minutes daily, focusing on the steps. Why? It reinforces neural pathways in the basal ganglia and cerebellum. Number 5, emotional memory, quote, mindfulness reflection, end quote. Goal, regulate emotional memory. How? Reflect on an emotional memory, notice physical sensations, and reframe it positively. Why? It helps regulate emotions tied to memories by engaging the amygdala. Now, I had a friend who had a lot of very interesting kind of close to, I would say, traumatic kind of events where her friends let her down sometimes, and she'd have a memory of, oh, her friend took her to some place, blah, 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 blah. And I said to her, how about this? How about you reframe it as I protected my friend as much as I could. And when she left me without her phone and went to a guy who was a stranger, I have no control over it. And reframe it so that your emotion doesn't go into it with her. She was so scared for her friend that she was traumatized even thinking about the fact that her friend had abandoned her at a dance and gone away to a guy that she just met. They had just met and disappeared for 2 or 3 days. And that to my friend, that was a dangerous thing to do. I would think so too, but to the other person, it wasn't. So I said, why don't you think about it as though as your control over the situation ended at the point where she left you? You know, that's what I said. Number 6, innate memory. Quote, fight or flight, calm down, end quote. Goal, calm the stress response. How? Practice deep breathing. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4, and relax your body from head to toe. Why? It activates the parasympathetic system to calm the amygdala and brainstem. These exercises are designed to be quick, easy to integrate into daily life, and a holistic support memory improvement and recovery. Memory reconsolidation. Memories are like a little story your brain keeps safe for you. Maybe you have a memory of your favorite birthday party, a vacation with your family, or even times when you experienced intense moments of trauma. Your brain is amazing because it keeps all these memories stored away, kind of like dusty books in a library. We all carry memories. Some are light and joyful, and others might feel heavy and painful. The way we hold on to these memories can impact how we feel every day, but what if you could lighten that burden? Now, you might think that a memory is a memory and it stays the same forever, but guess what? They don't. Memories can change a little bit every time we remember them. That's what scientists call memory reconsolidation, a fancy way of saying your brain updates old memories over time, even if you don't know it. Your magnificent brain is constantly working behind the scenes, reshaping and fine tuning the way those stories are stored. But here's something even cooler. You can change a memory on purpose and with intent. Let's say you think about a time when you feel sad or scared. When you remember it, your brain opens it up like taking a book off a shelf. Then you can add new happy thoughts or feelings to that memory before your brain puts it back. This is called memory modification. Now, and it's like being the head librarian of your own memories. Now, this isn't about tricking yourself or into denying that something didn't happen. Absolutely not. What we are doing here is modifying the memory so that it no longer holds you back in life. Instead of carrying the emotional weight of a bad memory, you're lightening the load. You're freeing up energy and removing the emotional quotient of a traumatic memory. This may sound like science fiction or something off Star Trek, but it works. The amazing process is exactly what I use. This amazing process is exactly what I use to help people from all over the world within my one-on-one work and group coaching sessions. I've seen it lead to unimaginable, rapid, and incredible shifts of identity for my patients and with myself. It's truly a breathtaking experience as a coach to watch someone transform as they let go of the grip that a painful memory once had on them. We will continue with this bonus chapter next week. There are ripples of positive energy in a single positive thought. Look at that. He's got more. Okay, so then I hope you are inspired to have a great day. We learn wisdom from other people because we ourselves are never so wise as the whole world is. And okay, old Kinderhook. Bye bye.